Strange watching back, cause you never quite know where the MIBs is at.
Welcome back. So Robin Hood is a beloved character for movie makers, appearing in countless films and TV series. But what if he were real? Well, UN human rights experts have donned the funny hat in tights as they push for a financial transaction tax, dubbed a Robin Hood tax, since it taxes rich nations in order to pay the poor ones for all sorts of stuff. Of course, advocacy groups love it, and whenever they want something, they firmly believe you should pay for it. Now, taking the advice from the UN on human rights is like asking Dana to grab something from a high shelf. It's just not possible, because she's short. But still, it plays well for people who love noble rhetoric but can't balance a checkbook, meaning celebrities. Celebrities love these ideas as long as they aren't affected by them. Take Will Smith, who showed up on French TV talking taxes. Remember last week, Smith said he supports the Buffett rule and taxing the rich more. But even he has limits after hearing that France's new president might raise the rate to 75%. Watch!
Je suis fermement convaincu que si je suis ici en tant que noir, alors que je n'ai pas fait d'études supérieures, mais finalement je fais quand même le tour du monde régulièrement, je vends mes films, tout simplement, je reste donc convaincu que c'est le seul endroit au monde où j'ai pu faire ça. C'est les États-Unis d'Amérique. Donc moi, 75. Ah ouais.
Wow, yeah, that's different.
Bon, là, c'est vrai que c'est pas pareil quand même.
Yeah, 75.
75%.
Well, you know, God bless America.
Yeah, I taxed them too. That was painful. But there it is, a celebrity having a genuine epiphany on live TV. You don't see that often. It's like a young man looking at his first pay stub and seeing the government bite. Luckily for most celebrities, they make so much money it doesn't matter, which is why Robin Hood is their hero, as long as he only robs from you. Andrea, I know you're a fan of him.
Oh,
isn't it adorable?
Posters in my office.
Now, Will Smith, isn't it neat how he just suddenly discovers that the world is different?
Yes,
I
loved watching that. And I would like to encourage Mr. Will Smith to live in Paris or live in France as I did, so I can make fun of the Frenchies a little bit because I speak French. 75. That was so funny when he realized the number was 75. Because Will Smith would have never been able to be Will Smith in France. Now, there's French celebrities. Crepes, very great. Taxes in France, not great. The unemployment system, the number in France, not great. The job market, not great in France. The health care in France, not great. He never could have gone from the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air to where he is now. And so
he admits that, though. He actually says that America's a great place. So I'm willing to shovel more money into this system, which is where I disagree with him. Is that I don't think the government owes all that, gets all that gratitude. Well, I think it's his own initiative and individual.
I'm very confused. I know I'm just sitting in for Bob, and I'm looking outside. I'm seeing New York around me. Are we in Paris, France? And are we suggesting that we'd have 75% tax? No. We're in the United States. He clearly gives credit to
New York City gets pretty close, Leslie. You cited the wrong city with city taxes.
I live in Los Angeles. California is tough.
And look what you're getting.
He's talking about 30%. We're talking about 30% in the United States, not 75%. He's talking about how great our nation is. We're not proposing what France is proposing. This is definitely a stretch.
What are they? No, what are they? That's a good point, though. What are they proposing?
We're trying to propose 40%, the 39.5% tax. We're trying to raise capital gains.
That's corporate.
We're trying to become as close to socialist France as possible. And by the way, it's not working in Europe, so they're going to do more of it. The reason why they're talking about a 75% is because the socialist was just elected president of France, Francois Hollande. And so do more of what's not working. Meanwhile, we're trying to emulate that, raise taxes, redistribute wealth. Why are we doing that? Look at California. California is practically France, and there's $16 billion. Am I kidding?
And there's not enough millionaires.
No, we just outlawed. No. We outlawed foie gras as of July. So seriously.
Well, interestingly, people are fleeing California because of the taxes there, and they're moving to other states. That is true. Also, believe it or not, Greg, you lived in the UK. People are trying to leave France in order to live in the UK because the tax burden is not as bad.
That's like going to England to get your teeth fixed.
Right, exactly. Which you did, and that was a really big.
It was a bet. Yes.
But can we talk about the Robin Hood thing for just a moment?
No.
So there's the G8 meeting today, so all the groups want to go. Yeah. Well, see, this is an evolution of something that they tried during the 1990s and the first part of the first part of this new century, which is they wanted the rich countries to pay for climate change harm to the smaller countries. When that all fell apart, now they're going to go after the banks. See, whatever it is, whatever the going thing is, that's what they will glob onto.
And
they won't get it. When they wanted the Global AIDS Fund, President Bush waited for 6 months and said, did anybody else put any money in? Not a single country put any money in until we did.
Let me just throw the number out there. The number that would raise is 1/2 of 1% of transactions is $365 billion a year, borne mostly a good percentage of it by Americans and our trading partners.
And to pay for what? Like I actually support foreign aid. I support private sector efforts as well. But a lot of this money is very mismanaged and just goes into the dictators'
There's
pockets.
something like that here in New York State. It's called a stock transfer tax. And even though they collect it, they rebate it because they know if they didn't, people would leave like they're going to do in France. There's not even enough millionaires in France for them to tax to pay for this budget thing. So I don't know what they're thinking of. What does that say? There's not enough millionaires, not enough rich people.
When you're talking about less than 1/2 of 1% for Wall Street, and there are people on the left and the right who were myself included, very opposed to the bailout. Sorry, it's payback. The banks can afford this.
But to
Why
pay
not
for
if we
what?
can relieve
What
this?
is the answer?
Can we relieve us? What are you buying for? But I think that's the problem. That what do you get for that money? And that's where people are rejecting. They might be willing to pay for more if there was reform, but there's not. You get Solyndra and all the other stuff.
On that note, I'm glad you brought up
rushing
Solyndra.
me.
I'm sorry, they're yelling in my ear, Dana. I'm tired of this. All right, coming up. If you're thinking of buying stock in Facebook, forget it. I bought it all. That's right. I own all of Facebook. Not the company. I mean the book of faces I made. I'm probably going to jail. If you leave now, Eric won't unbutton his shirt. Another button.
I'm not feeling too good myself. Well, you're feeling alright. I'm not feeling too good myself.